Let's take a quick look at Stata's syntax. In other words, Stata's command language. Stata's command syntax governs the structure of how you successfully interact with Stata beyond its graphical user interface. In other words, anything that isn't point and click. For professionals, this is the main way to interact with Stata, and even when you are pointing and clicking your way through Stata's menu to do things, Stata's graphical menus mostly just translate your point and click requests into code and then submit that to the command window. In other words, the vast majority of things that happen in Stata happen because of the command syntax. The majority of Stata commands take the following arguments. A by prefix is often available to loop the command over specific variables. Some kind of command is called. A variable list or some name list is defined after the command. An expression is provided, for example in generating commands, something equals something. And then an if condition can be added if we want to focus on only a subset of data, or an in range can be specified if we want to look at only a certain range of data. Many commands also take weights, and we can add weights to give different observations different weights in our estimation procedures. And finally, most commands will have various options that will change or modify the behavior or the results that you see from the relevant command. Square brackets in the command syntax indicate optional components, and the comma denotes the break between the main command and its options. The syntax options for commands are often explored using the help menu, and you should get into the habit of always exploring new commands with the help command first and reading the relevant help entry. So let's head over to Stata and have a look at an example help file. Here we are in Stata, and I've already loaded the help file for the command regress, which is a commonly used estimation procedure. At the top of the help file we can see the relevant syntax for that command. The command itself is bolded, which means we can call a linear regression by typing regress. In many cases, we often don't need to type out all the characters in the command regress. So for example, in this case, regress will also work with simply reg. This is called a shorthand or shortcut. Commands that are used more frequently can have very short shortcuts. Help, for example, will work by only typing h. Generate, another frequently used command, can work by only typing g. Next, you'll need to specify one dependent variable for regress to work. Note that you can only specify one dependent variable, and because it's not in square brackets, you must specify exactly one dependent variable for regress to work. Everything else after that is optional. So, for example, we can add optional independent variables, and we can add as many as we like. We could also include if and in conditions, or include weights. All of these are optional because they're surrounded by square brackets. Finally, you may want to specify additional options after the comma. The comma separates every Stata main command from its options. The option list for regress is given below. For example, we can add a no constant option, we can change how standard errors are computed, or we can change the reporting of the regression results. Overall, once you get used to it, Stata's command syntax is very easy and straightforward to use. As good practice, you should get into the habit of learning the specific syntax of the most commonly used commands. Here in this course, we'll focus on creating such good practice by mainly using the command syntax to interact with Stata.